Well, hey everybody. This week's video is going to be a little bit different, but before we get into that, just want to let you know about a few things. First off, last week I gave you guys the challenge of the Pastor Andrew Impressions Challenge and haven't received any responses from that yet. So I'll make it a little bit more clear and give you the rest of this week to get those in. But the opportunity is to roast me, actually, so I hope you take advantage of that. What I'm looking for is either a picture or a video of you giving it your best shot of either looking or acting or talking like me. So do your worst. I'll be able to handle it, and whoever sends in me the best, most accurate representation is going to get a really nice prize. So make sure you have those into me by this Saturday coming up. And I'll be reminding you of that as well. To continue on, since that'll be kind of part of this week's challenge, I'm also going to extend the opportunity to be a part of those pictures that I sent out for youth group. If you were part of youth group over Zoom this week, you got to get a better explanation of that, or you saw them through the Snapchat as well. But each one of those photos I'll be sharing throughout the week to give you time to be intentional with God while you're at home. As you interact with those specific items or areas of your home, you'll be able to practice, be reminded of, and engage with God through that time to to continue on our idea of the 3 Ps of people, presence, and process. Next Sunday at youth group, when we have that in person, will be that last step, being able to process everything that's going on. So it'll be a free space for you to talk, vent your frustrations, and for us to come together and do that in a healthy manner. But I think that's all that I have for us. As things continue to unfold and as school begins to start, hopefully sooner rather than later, I'll be able to get you more information on what youth group is going to look like moving forward. But appreciate your care and your support through this time. So like I mentioned before, this week's video is going to be a little bit different. If you were in church or watching church this last week, I talked a little bit about my own personal devotions and used a short little snippet to help us understand a little bit about prayer and worry. And that is what I really feel called to just read the entire thing for you guys this morning. Or not this morning, for this video. But the book here is the devotion that I really like to use in my own personal time. It is called New Morning Mercies by Paul David Tripp. The best way that I describe it is getting hit with the gospel fresh and new every morning. So I like using it. I also like jumping into the devotional that I got for you guys. But this kind of helps me as I'm starting my day. But this passage, I remember reading, I've used this day in, day out, on and off again, because this is a 365-day devotional. But even as I was preparing last week, I just got hit with this, and I just knew I had to share it. But through this, to give you a better understanding, he puts an idea together based off of a specific passage. And the passage that he talks about in this is Daniel 6, the story of Daniel in the lion's den. So through your week, I encourage you, either after listening to this or beforehand or with this, go ahead, go jump in your Bibles, read Daniel chapter 6. It's not very long, give you the opportunity to go ahead through that. But I would really want to read this, and I think this kind of speaks well to everything that's going on. And this really hit me this week and last week as I've been wrestling through this idea of letting God be in control, not being worried about things out of my control, and really just trusting Him. And I hope this can resonate with you as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just read this, and that'll end our time together for this week. But I hope it's encouraging to you, and I hope that you're able to get something out of this. So let me go ahead and read this for us. It says, too much of our emotional energy is sapped by worry. Too many of us are captured by discouragement. Too many of us are often motivated by fear. Too many of us regularly lose sleep because of worry. Too many of us feel our lives are out of control. Too many of us wish that we had power that we will never have. Too many of us are paralyzed by regret. Too many of us wonder where God is and what he is doing. Too many of us feel alone and misunderstood. Too many of us envy the lives of others. Too many of us think that it's us against the world. Too many of us, whether we are assessing our lives, leave out the ultimate explanatory fact, the essence, character, and plan of God. I am convinced that many of us need to take in or return to the worldview that is presented to us in the book of Daniel. Daniel's world is a world of trouble. It's a world of injustice, oppression, idolatry, danger, political corruption, war, and various other kinds of trouble. It is not a world that is out of control. In fact, the face of all trouble, Daniel presents to us the very opposite of what we would tend to think if we were to assess his world. Daniel presents to us a world that, in every way and at every point, is under the control of one who is powerful and wise and holds the events of human history in the palms of his hands. Events happen according to his plan. History moves according to his will. Individuals' lives are shaped by his purpose. It is a world under rule. Consider these words. He is a living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed. His dominion shall be to the end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. It's Daniel 6:26 and 27. Many things in your life are out of your control. You face things that make you feel unprepared, small, or weak. But you must not give way to thinking that your life is out of control. You need to remind yourself of the truths Daniel confronts us all with, that over all the trouble that confounds and dismays us is a God of glorious wonder, power, and grace who rules every moment of every situation. Now, you will not always see this at hand. You often won't understand what he is doing. There will be points where life won't make sense to you. At times you wish that life would be different. There will be moments where you feel unprepared for what is on your plate. In these moments, look up and remember that above all there is a throne, and on it sits a God of unimaginable majesty, ruling for his glory and for your good. That's what I got for us today. I hope that was encouraging. Go ahead and read the story of Daniel 6 and remember that God is in control, that he sits on the throne for his glory and for your good. See you guys.